Hello everybody, it's Non-Scene News here, and today we've got a lot of breaking updates today. So first, let's just get started with Hungary. So, Hungary is now easing the entry conditions for Russians and Belarusians without a public announcement. So Hungary has quietly simplified the entry conditions for Russians and Belarusians after the Prime Minister of Hungary, Viktor Orban, visited Moscow with Putin. So Budapest now included citizens of Russia and Belarus in the National Card program. This program allows applicants to work in Hungary for 2 years with the possibility of an extension. So Hungary is now working on the entry eases on Russian and Belarusian citizens, so very interesting. That's not the only news coming from Hungary. Apparently, the Hungarian foreign minister has stated that there will be no payments to EU members for Ukrainian weapons until Kiev resumes the oil transit going through the Druzhba pipeline, stated the Hungarian foreign minister. So the Druzhba pipeline is a pipeline that's located in Russia that goes all the way through Belarus into Ukraine, that feeds Hungary and Slovakia with Russian oil from the company Lukoil. So Ukraine has actually cut off this pipeline. It has sanctioned it, so no more Russian oil is going through this pipeline that is feeding Hungary and Slovakia Russian oil. So now the Hungarian foreign minister has stated that Hungary will block the EU's packages for Ukraine. So very interesting, and I'll keep you updated on this. Slovakia has stated kind of the same thing, that Slovakia will halt diesel supplies to Ukraine if Ukraine does not restore Russian crude oil transit soon. So I read a graph not so long ago that I'm pretty sure Ukraine, I think Slovakia gives 21% of the diesel and electricity to Ukraine. So it's a crazy number. Now Slovakia is stating that it will cut this off, and Hungary will probably do the same. So very interesting. Now we've got some news coming from Germany that Germany has stated that it won't be intimidated by Moscow's nuclear threats, said the German foreign minister. And also an explosion has occurred in Germany's largest chemical plant. So very interesting. 14 people were injured, and it's unclear how this actually started. So we'll get information about that pretty soon. We've got news coming from France that a massive sabotage was carried out on the network equipment of French telecommunications operators. So apparently a lot of sabotages in France have been cutting wires, have been disrupting railways in France. So Israel actually stated that this was Iranian-backed rebels that are doing this. So we'll see, we'll get more further information about this, but right now there's been a massive sabotage was carried out in the network equipment of French telecommunication. So very interesting, and I'll keep you updated on that. We got news that the United Kingdom has dropped out of the top 10 manufacturing nations for the first time. So for the first time, the UK has fell out of top 10 leading countries in the world for industrial production, and has just fell below Russia. So this data was provided by the Times newspaper with a reference to an analyst by the industry associated Make UK. So over 2022, Britain fell from the 8th place to the 12th place in the ranking of manufacturing economies, behind Mexico and Russia, which rose to the 7th and 8th place. So Britain has just fell behind Mexico and Russia, so it will probably fall a little bit more. So we'll see what's going to happen here. And we've got some pretty massive news coming from Moscow that the United States, as part of strengthening NATO's eastern flank, is now moving armoured vehicles and artillery from bases in Germany to Poland. So 87 tanks and 150 infantry fighting vehicles and 18 self-propelled artillery units will be transferred into Poland, in central Poland. So now these American troops are getting more closer to Russia, so central Poland, so we can probably expect them around here. Probably in Warsaw, maybe like this, but very interesting. So Americans are moving more troops into central Poland. We've also got news from Ukraine, so we've got some Ukraine updates that Ukraine will be able to use no more than 10 F-16s this year due to the shortage of pilots, reported the New York Times. So there's no doubt that Ukraine didn't have enough pilots for these F-16s, and yesterday we got on news that the first F-16s have arrived in Ukraine, according to the Washington Post. So we'll see if this is true, but I remember the Ukrainian Chief of Command Suski said that these F-16s won't go any closer than, I'm pretty sure it was 40 or 60 kilometers from the front line. So let's say if they wanted to hit somewhere in the front line, I don't know, this map isn't updated to the current situation, but let's say if they wanted to hit, I don't know, Bakhmut, so the very edge of Bakhmut, they would have to, these F-16s would have to deploy and try and hit them around here. So they'll probably drop bombs 60 kilometers away. So very interesting news. So Ukraine doesn't have enough pilots to run these F-16s. Germany has announced that together with Denmark has transferred 8 Leopard 1A5 tanks with spare parts to Ukraine. So Ukraine has just received 8 Leopard 1A5s from Germany and Denmark with spare parts. So very interesting, and that's not the only package coming today. That the US DoD has confirmed a new 200 million aid package to Ukraine provided under the PDA. So if you can see here in your bottom left corner, most of this package is just ammunition. So there's actually no Abrams, there's no Bradleys. So there's 155 and 155 artillery shells, rounds, and 120 millimeter mortar rounds. So there's precise aerial munitions, small arms, spare parts. So this aid package is to keep the Ukrainian army going and equipped with the logistics to continue the war. And we got news coming from the Latvia's Ministry of Foreign Affairs that Latvia will donate 100 drones to Ukraine. The funds for these drones were raised by the head of the department, who ran a half a marathon this spring to support the cause. So Ukraine's receiving 100 drones. It doesn't specify what type of drones. These could be just FPV drones, or who knows. The next news is coming from the Russian Navy. So the Russian Navy has just begun planned exercises on the use of forces by the Baltic, Northern, and the Pacific fleets, and the Caspian flotilla. So the Russian Defense Ministry reported this exercise will involve about 300 service ships and boats and submarines and support vessels, up to 50 aircraft and 200 units of military and special equipment, and over 20,000 military and civilian personnel will be used in this exercise. So a huge exercise. So it's not going to exercise its Black Fleet. Obviously Russia is in a war with Ukraine, and if they do start putting their fleet in the Black Sea, some of these ships might sink. So very interesting news. So Russia is now going to be doing a huge Russian Navy exercise. And Russia has also announced that the Su57 Design, so this is a plane manufacturer in Russia, today celebrates the 85th years from the date of its creation. So it's the anniversary of the Sukhoi Design. So these are the manufacturers that make the Su57s, the Su35s. So very big news, and this company was created in July the 29th of 1939. So it's been 85 years, so very interesting. So now let's go to the African country of Mali. So if you guys remember, I'm pretty sure it was maybe a half a week ago now, but a Wagner convoy was completely destroyed in this area. So the Wagner forces were conducting operations in the north of Mali, trying to repel the rebels in this area. So, but as a result, this whole Wagner convoy was destroyed. Maybe not all of it, but the Wagner forces took a huge amount of casualties, and actually one Mi-24 helicopter was destroyed, I'm pretty sure. But now we've just gotten footage and pictures that the Ukrainians was a direct involvement of this operation. So if you can see here in this picture, so the blurred faces of these people that are white and not wearing the classic North Mali clothing are Ukrainian special forces. So they did participate and coordinate the attack and later brought the flag for the picture. So now we're getting confirmations that Ukraine was a direct result of this attack. So these were special forces that conducted this attack and probably helped these rebels to completely destroy this Wagner convoy. So very interesting. We've got news coming from North Korea that the South Korean officials are saying that North Korean officials now seek medicine for Kim's obesity related health problems, South Korea has stated. And South Korea has also stated that South Korean intelligence believes that Pyongyang is preparing his daughter, who is now 11 years old, to succeed Kim Jong Un. If you can see here in your bottom left corner, this is Kim Jong Un's daughter, and apparently to South Korean officials that he is now preparing his daughter, who is now 11, to succeed him and become the next leader of North Korea. Now we've got news coming from China. So a couple of videos ago we talked about how the Italian Prime Minister visited Beijing. Now we've gotten footage of this. So Meloni, so this is the Prime Minister of Italy. She vows to relaunch Italy's cooperation with China. So she has now vowed on Sunday to relaunch the cooperation with China, signing a 3-year action plan during her first official visit to Beijing since taking office. So, very interesting. Now we're going to go over the Venezuelan problem coming into Venezuela. So, Nicolas Maduro has decided to expel the entire diplomat corps of 7 countries that contested the presidential elections results. So these countries are Argentina, Chile, Costa Rica, Peru, Panama, and the Dominican Republic, and Uruguay. So this is pretty big news, and we'll see what happens here. And there's been some huge protests that's been going in Venezuela. So you can see here in the bottom left corner, there's been posters of the president who quote unquote got re-elected, got taken down. So you can see here they've been these Venezuelans have been crushing and taking down these posters. And if you can see here, this is apparently been recorded in the capital of Venezuela. Apparently thousands of opposition supporters came out to protest in connection with the results of the presidential elections. So this is huge. At least one person has been confirmed killed, and it's really bad. And it's said that 46 were detained and 23 soldiers were wounded. So there's been some huge videos that have been coming around, and there's also been news that criminal groups in Venezuela has also taken arms. And if you can see here, well, I might have to blur this, but they have guns. So these criminal groups in Venezuela are now taking arms, and they're going against the president, the Maduro. So very interesting. We've got a quick news that I forgot to add on the map, that Armenia and Cyprus will open embassies in the capitals of both countries in the coming months. And the last news is coming from the US. So Elon Musk, it's Elon Musk news. Elon Musk suggests that Google is interfering in the US presidential elections. Musk claims that the search engine blocks searches about Donald Trump or companies linked with him. So, very interesting. And that's all I have for you today. I am Non-C News. I will try and provide you news that medias around the world do not show you. I do these videos hopefully daily, so consider subscribing and liking. If you want to support me personally, please consider donating through YouTube and Super Chat, or becoming a member. Thank you very much, and hopefully I see you in the next one. Bye.